We have like a minute and 7 minutes until it like really starts. So I may just be chatting to myself for a little bit, but that's cool. Kind of like that. I would play music, but that gets me in trouble with the recording. So I'm just gonna have to listen to the music in my head. I like that there's a little countdown from. I'm back. I had to be reconnected. That was crazy. Coo, 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 coo. I like the little countdown that we have. Does that mean that people aren't able to like enter until like 9 seconds from now? Or are there people here? Throw a little hi in the chat if you're here. If you're not here, then oh, we already have people joining. Awesome. Well, that's exciting. Hey, hey! If you're here, throw a little hey in the chat so I know I'm not talking to myself, which I can do. We spent a lot of this morning on our marketing team talking about how you think your thoughts and if you say them out loud or if you see them and like envision them. It's hard to explain, but for everyone who's joining and trickling on in, throw a little hello in the chat, maybe where you're chatting in from. We have sun for the first time in Boston in a while. I would love to know and live vicariously through you if it's just been generally sunny where you live. And we will just, wait for some of our friends to join us. I know that this one's going to be quite a fun conversation because it's always fun to think about international. It's like we're there, It's like this is a little trip to the UK and Ireland. Yeah, right. We're trickling in. It's happening. People are joining. I love it. I'm going to give people like maybe another minute to join. And then we'll like hop right into the content for funsies. But if you're new and you haven't heard my spiel yet, wherever you're tuning in from, throw it in the chat. Would love to know if you have any fun weekend plans or how your Thursday's going. What's everyone's favorite international destination? Nina with the questions. I'm a sucker for France. I lived there when I was in college and it was awesome. We have Jennifer from Toronto. Did I say that right? Without, saying Toronto. I know that people from Toronto generally don't pronounce the second T. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Anyone else? What's your favorite international destination then? We're going to be focusing or chatting today about like international as like a general concept, but we can talk about any sort of international destination. Paris, hands down, girl. You and me, we can hit the town together in Paris. It'll be so fun. Okay, cool. So we're like 2 minutes past starting time. We can wait for a few more people to join, but I feel like this is a solid crew. We got a good crew here. So may as well just start hopping in to the content and we will have some time at the end for questions or, if all of your questions were answered, then you can go off and create your first international gifting campaign like that, because that is the goal of these webinars. The Not Another Conceptual webinar series was made so that you can go from webinar to execution. You don't have to like think about all these crazy concepts that are really high level, but instead you get like really tactical tips on marketing, sales, gifting campaigns in general. So without further ado, let me share my screen and share here. And we will get started. All right, cool. So welcome to Not Another High-Level International Gifting webinar. So we're not just going to talk about concepts and the idea of gifting internationally. We're going to talk about how you can start gifting internationally right now, today, at this very second, or, tomorrow. I'm not going to rush you. So just a quick Introduction. Hello, my name is Sarah Payan. I am the Senior Marketing Manager of Customer Engagement here at Alice. But from 5 to 9, I'm a big fan of true crime podcasts, though recently I've been getting way more into audiobooks instead of podcasts. So if you're on the Audible train, let me know. I also like staying active, doing boxing, yoga. Ask me about my beach volleyball team. I can talk about them all day long. And I'm the middle sister of 3 girls. So we had a blast growing up, let me tell you. All right, so you want to start gifting internationally. That's awesome. Existing on the internet today makes companies known around the world, regardless of if they want to operate internationally or not, right? Like that's just how the internet works. You're online, anyone in the world can find you. But being findable doesn't necessarily make you an international business, you know? So once you start to put like a more concerted effort into selling internationally, that comes with excitement. It comes with growth and areas of opportunities into new markets, but it also comes with the need to expand your knowledge of like rules, laws, regulations, and also cultural and social norms of a country or region, especially when you're thinking about the marketing and sales channel of direct mail and gifting, something that's a very personal channel that you don't want to use in a way that could be seen as inappropriate, you know? Just like with any huge business change, we recommend starting small when you think about gifting internationally, getting a feel for your audience and phasing out your international corporate gifting approach in a way that that works for your business, but also lets you learn and iterate your process along the way. So let's dive into what to take into consideration when you execute an international corporate gifting strategy a little bit deeper. So first things first, there's just the culture of disclosure. Here we have John on the right, kind of hiding his face. Disclosure, privacy, imagery, you know, it works. But while practices and business practices between Europe and America can look really similar at a high level, there are definitely more steps to executing a cultural appropriate sales and marketing strategy that adheres to each country's legal norms, but also cultural and social norms as well. So to start, Europe views privacy as a fundamental human right. Like we started talking about GDPR in 2018, and I feel like we just haven't stopped talking about GDPR since then. And that's just across the country of Europe, the continent of Europe as a whole, right? Like every individual country within Europe has its own viewpoint for privacy and data, and that informs kind of how you should differentiate your gifting strategy, especially when you're in the US and Canada versus Europe. There's just an additional layer of thoughtfulness to take into consideration that the gift giving culture is very personal and can also be used in a business scenario, and how that sort of balances out with like a social and cultural norm difference. So there's just that additional layer of just like understanding how your gift recipient could perceive gift giving, both on a business level and on a personal level, and making sure that you're being respectful of that. Generally speaking, also prohibited items. Just like some items can't be transported from state to state or Canadian province to Canadian province, the list of prohibited items just grows even longer when you start thinking about sending physical items and goods across countries. Often you don't know that a gift will be prohibited in that region until it fails to be delivered to your prospect. So you could have enrolled them in this gifting sequence and let them know that a gift is on their way. And if it never comes because it's a prohibited item, that can leave a really negative impression on that prospect. It doesn't look great on your business. And you are left with this confusion of like, where is the gift? And did we just throw away that money by accident? So that's just another thing to take into consideration holistically when you think about sending something from one country to another, or even facilitating the gift sending from one country to another. So that being said, we generally suggest that starting with digital gifting can help you get a feel for how your prospects like to be gifted. So gift invitations don't have to be impersonal. They can help you understand the tone that you should take when you're talking to your international prospects. There's less wasted money because you're not sending something across borders that may not be allowed in that specific country, way less labor intensive, and you can gauge your average response rate, right? So you get to use digital gifting as a way to kind of like ease yourself and your business into, your digital gifting campaigns. So that leads me to gifting with Alice in the UK and Ireland, and coming very soon, EMEA. So we like to take privacy and data protection really seriously. And so we kind of meld that into our international gifting product. So we have a legal team, we have a privacy team. Our legal and privacy team, we call them the legal eagles. Like, they made sure that when you gift with Alice, you are not breaking any rules. There's no potential for privacy mishaps. And we also give you the power of Alice, which is creating personal experiences for everyone you do business with. So for Alice in the UK and Ireland, you'll be able to set up both personal gifting campaigns and activate campaigns that target the region of your choice. So if you do choose to use Alice for your international gifting campaigns, you have the one-to-one gifting and the one-to-many gifting through Alice Activate, where you can send internationally. So with this new improvement, you'll be able to choose from hundreds of e-gifts and donations to send to your prospects in the UK and Ireland and EMEA, while still giving them the power to choose the gift that best suits them without having to buy a huge inventory of digital gift cards, right? You still get that power of the Alice Marketplace. Anyone can choose a gift card or a donation of their choice that best suits them in that moment. Not only this, but with some other improvements and feature updates that Alice has released in the last quarter, you'll also be able to schedule gifts to send across the pond at appropriate times, brand your gift redemption landing pages for your international campaigns so that you really create a cohesive gifting program that aligns with the rest of your marketing program, but also aligns well with the person on the other end of the gifting experience, which is the person that matters the most, and that's your gift recipient. So even if you aren't using Alice with your gifting, your international gifting, or you're thinking of using Alice with your international gifting, and you kind of want to conceptualize and understand exactly what that process looks like, I'm going to kind of walk you through the playbook of how gifting is similar but a little bit different to like your usual marketing campaign or sales prospecting sort of motion when you choose to go and gift internationally. So to start, real simple, create your list of target accounts, just like you would normally. And upload those prospects into Alice. You also want to make sure that whoever's sending those gifts adds Alice as a step to their outreach cadence templates. And then the fourth step here is to record a personal video to include on a branded landing page. And so we specifically call out these two parts of the gifting process because it helps you add a personal touch to an otherwise somewhat impersonal gift, right? Like, you could be a little bit more personal with a physical gift item, but because gifting in the UK and Ireland is digital gift cards to start, adding a personal video and branding your landing pages can help just create an all-around more cohesive and personal gift redemption experience for the person on the other side. Because as we know, it's all about creating those like one-to-one moments at scale that feel like they were personally made for the gift recipient, especially when you're using gifting for ABM and target accounts or just ideal customer profile accounts. You want to make sure that they feel special, even if the gift itself isn't 100% unique to them. You can't always know exactly what someone wants anyway, so may as well make the rest of the experience super personal. Then after that, the rep selects and sends a perfectly matched Alice gift with that personal note, which we will get into a little bit later. And then they can schedule the gift to send at the appropriate time in the appropriate time zone. Once the gift is sent, of course, you want to follow up if the gift is not accepted, or if the gift is accepted and a meeting is booked, then you will get that Alice Assist email an hour before the meeting, giving you company and personal information about that person, the gifts that they accepted, what they do at that company, etc. So let's dive a little bit deeper into like the nuances of these, right? So when you identify your target accounts, obviously they want to align with your ideal customer profile metrics, and then you want to select like 3 to 5 ideal prospects at key accounts and make sure that they are uploaded into Alice. This is a pro tip for any prospecting with Alice, but Alice shouldn't be the first touch in your cold prospecting sequence, right? Like, especially when these people are international, there is that culture of disclosure. You want to make sure that you're building trust and introducing your company, the problem that you solve, before you introduce this gifting offer. So creating awareness with traditional outreach before sending an Alice gift will help increase the impact that the gift actually has on your usual outreach sequences. Fourth step here is scheduling your gift. So our data shows, and we'll be diving a little bit deeper into like our gifting data and stuff later on in the year. But our gifting data shows that gifts have a higher acceptance rate either earlier in the morning or later at night versus during business hours. Like when people aren't being bombarded with emails during the usual business day, that like 8 a.m. and like 6 or 7 p.m. timing can be really impactful to get an email in front of someone's eyes, right? So scheduling that gift in your prospect's time zone so that you don't have to be awake and alert and available at that time will be really helpful so that you can see that engagement rate go up with your international gifts. And then because research isn't enabled for international gifts, make sure that you're making your message really relevant and personal to the persona. Whether you want to do your own individual little bit of research and go check out their social media profiles, get a better sense for maybe where they live, the sports teams they may support. The Euro Cup was just ended. The Olympics are right around the corner. There's always like a patriotic sporting event that you can tap into if that's something that a prospect is passionate about, or just tailor your messaging to like recent social posts, whether that's about their company or about themselves, just to make sure that your message is relevant and the most important part of this gifting process. Then of course, you have your usual follow-up sequence. Always make sure to follow up with a gift 3 to 5 times before securing that meeting, or if a gift is accepted, congrats, you crushed it. Love that for you. So we kind of talk about like reps sending an Alice gift and making that message personal, but I wanted to dive even a little bit deeper to talk about the kinds of themed campaigns that you can run with any sort of international gifting where your gift options are digital gift cards. So here we have a prospecting email sequence with the gift option of like a Nike or Adidas gift card. And here you can kind of tap into whether your prospect is like a Manchester United fan, they want to rep their jersey from Manchester United, who's sponsored by Adidas, or a Chelsea fan and needs that Nike swoosh. You can always make your outreach personal with a gift card to help your prospects rep their favorite teams. So here, because, soccer season is winding down, you could maybe make this a little bit more about the Olympics or some of the summer sports. I wanted to shoot you over this Adidas or Nike gift card to help you get yourself some gear before the next game, before the next event. Then, of course, we use a very similar structure in a lot of our prospecting emails. So first you start with that 5 to 9 information, that gift information, and try to appeal to that prospect on a personal level. So I wanted to shoot you over this Adidas gift card so that you could get some gear before the next game. Introducing the power of choice. So if this gift doesn't suit you, please feel free to exchange it in the marketplace or donate the dollar value to a charity of your choice. Then next, we kind of dive into how that gift relates to your company and your company's value prop, as well as the problem that you solve, moving into that pretty strong CTA at the end. So just like the best football players are creative, nimble, and problem solve in the moment, so are the personas that you service. But you could always use some help. That's what your company is all about. You help companies do X, Y, and Z and help personas solve their day-to-day problems. Can I show you what this would look like for a prospect company? So this is a little template. Of course, all of these slides will be available for anyone who registered for this webinar. And we also have an ebook that details all of this information as well, where you can like copy and paste directly into your Get Alice templates and like make some of these campaigns a reality once you get these slides. So super easy, no need to take frantic notes. We'll always send you the recording, the slides, and any additional information after the fact as well that we kind of touch on in the webinar. All right, I would be delighted to receive this prospecting email. Sometimes the best way to create a relationship with someone is through their stomach. So appealing to seasonal recipes or national holidays with a Waitrose or John Lewis, Asada, or Tesco gift cards. These are all like food options that can help you curate and create a campaign around food. So whether that's a marketing campaign specifically and you want to do like a lunch and learn type of campaign, or you know that this person is a foodie and your prospecting email specifically wants to relate to that, you can kind of use these gift cards to help you set the table. So with, summer in full swing, I've been exercising my cooking skills with some new recipes. Figured I'd send along a way to get some ingredients for my favorite recipes. You can also attach one of your favorite recipes to the email, or even attach a recipe that you'll be making in your marketing event, etc. Of course, if this gift doesn't suit you, feel free to exchange it for something that does. Just like we plan ahead to prep for a meal, how are you prepping to plan on solving the problem that you solve? So I'm always a big fan of trying to relate the gift to your value prop, just so that the email flows a little bit more. Because if you just introduce the gift and then go directly into the value prop, it feels a little disconnected. Like, what does the gift have to do with your ask and your offer? But relating it's to itself can help just create a little bit more of a thematic and well-rounded and just like kind of nice and fuzzy feeling in your prospects when they receive an email like this. And last but not least, the third campaign idea here. I'm not sure if this is something that only the French do, but I think it could be a European, theme, is that a lot of people in Europe, or at least Paris, take a lot of vacation time in August. So right now, mid-July is a really great time to reach out to those prospects in Europe to try and book meetings before they take those vacations in August, or try and get some time on the calendar after those vacations are being booked, but also relating and recognizing that that those people will be on vacation. So in the gifting marketplace, we have like hotel gift cards, flight gift cards, or Airbnb like vacation rental gift cards as well that you could use to appeal to the wanderluster. So especially with things opening back up, Wanderlust has been on the brain, and what a better way to relax, reset, and get ready for the rest of the year, month, quarter, whatever it is, with a little trip. I hope you enjoy this gift card and take a well-deserved vacation or staycation. Power of choice statement. And then as we start to think about where this trip could take you, I can't help but ask where you're taking your marketing, like your prospecting or your pipeline generation into the rest of the year. If you've been thinking about a direct mail solution, your company, Alice, could be the right fit, from creating personal experiences to helping drive action, not just attention from your gifts. Our customers see a great ROI when they use our product. That's kind of how I would structure how Alice could use a template like this to kind of fit our value proposition into a kind of campaign like this. This kind of template could be used even for customer recognition and customer appreciation going into the summer months, especially if right after August you have customers who are up for renewal or have expansion opportunities. And you kind of want to, recognize them and recognize that they have done a really great job. But you can also use this to try and like drive some action, get a meeting on the books before they get on vacation, and maybe don't have enough time to think about the renewal that they have. So each three of these gift invitation templates can be interchangeable regardless of your use case. You could curate an entire event around a theme and send everyone a gift card for that theme. You could use this as customer recognition and appreciation, and just like making sure that you create those little moments of delight in the customer life cycle, or help with expansion opportunities and trying to book initial meetings with your customers before they go on vacation, or when they're thinking about the Olympics, or when they're thinking about summer recipes, and just try and get on their good side. And then of course your sales prospecting Alice use cases that are super, super common, and just trying to kind of stand out in the crowd of generic and impersonal emails, even when people are offering up a gift. So I would say you can always iterate on these, but here are some three campaign ideas that you could run for, any kind of prospect across the customer journey themselves. And just a parting word is the message always matters, right? It doesn't really matter exactly what you're sending. It doesn't matter if you're doing your own research on prospects or setting up an Activate campaign. Connecting the gift back to something relevant to your gift recipient will always help you drive loyalty, build rapport, and earn that trust with your gifting. I know the Alice team, we love a good theme, and I think it takes like a little bit more, like a little extra thought process to like connect that gift offer to your theme, but it really makes a huge, huge impact. This is true for gifting in your native country. It's true for gifting countries abroad. But being empathetic and going that extra mile to understand what the cultural norms are for another company and another country, and staying personal will help you see the greatest success in your international campaigns. I know that we already have some customers who are online who may have already stood up their first international gifting campaign, but I also wanted to open up the chat for any questions. We can also do some brainstorming in the sense of like what other gift campaigns can you run. There are a bunch of great questions in the Q&A section, so we can get into these now. Love that. Okay. Is there timing based on North America data? Will it be timing? Elena, your question on timing based on NA data, I would love a little bit more information here. If you want to throw it in the chat, I would like a little bit of clarification. I'm not totally sure what you mean. Oh, timing based on North America data based on gift sending times. Got it. Wow. Okay. It made sense as I was saying it out loud. So the timing that we said in terms of gifting best practices is best to send before or after your usual gifting hours was done in like standard timing. We did the analysis in Eastern Standard Time, but it was all gifts sent across all time zones. So there was a specific spike at certain times of day. Also, just Saturday as a day has a higher acceptance rate than any of the other days. So even if you want to send at a business hour on a Saturday, that can be translated to different time zones. So I would say that's generally speaking more of like a global best practice of pre and post like normal business hours, and then Saturdays as well are great days to kind of like get and stay relevant and ahead and a little bit more like drive a little bit more attention to your outreach because inboxes are generally less flooded around those times. I hope that helps. Okay, cool. Sweet. Thanks, Elena. Answered. Then we have another question from Elena. I love this. Will the legal eagles be doing any work to ensure that gifts in the marketplace filter based on what is legal for the regions the gifts will deliver to? Really good question. So to start, we have simply digital gift cards in the marketplace right now for the UK and Ireland. That will be the same moving to EMEA as well. So to start, it'll be digital gift cards until we have like established a few more regions just so that you can start becoming a little bit more personal through Alice and through gifting in those regions. Once that happens, our marketplace team is always iterating and trying to make sure that gifts are or are not available for specific regions. It's a little bit tricky across states because people will plug in their like shipping address across states, but we will make sure that there is not the ability to send a gift internationally if it's prohibited like in Europe. It's a little bit harder on a country by country basis, so it may depend on how we structure the like campaign creation process in general, and that's definitely something that we can ask the product team about so that we can come back with like a more yes or no kind of answer to this. But if I were to guess, they will definitely try, and we will definitely make sure that physical goods aren't being sent to places where they aren't able to. But I can get a more like, this is our plan for that answer for you, Elena, for sure. All right. And then Amy, great question. Is there a dollar value limit for the UK or Ireland that your customers should be aware of for a meeting setting campaign with prospects? So this budgeting is totally determined by your company and like your internal budget. So whether that you want your gift cards to be $5 or $500, that is something that you can set on a per campaign basis. Because these gifts are digital gift cards, you kind of have a little bit more power to set that budget. There is less of a limit. Also, the currency itself will change a little bit, like the exchange rate will be slightly affected in terms of like your gift deposit versus like what the customer sees on the other side. But like if you send someone £100 gift card, they will be able to claim £100 gift card. And so that sort of like gift budgeting is set on a per campaign basis by you. Our team can always help you kind of understand what your budget should be based on the kind of campaign you're running. So if you're running a more activate-centric campaign and you're sending a bunch of gift cards to a lot of people, you may want to have a lower budget than an ABM campaign focused on like 10 target accounts in a specific region. I hope that answered your question, but if it didn't, feel free to add another question. Sweet. Love that we talked about the Legal Eagles. I'm going to tell them that we sang their praises. We have like 15 more minutes left. Those were really great questions, Elena and Amy. If there are any other questions that come up, you can always respond to the follow-up emails that we'll send after this with the international gifting ebook. We can send some other gift campaign templates that you can kind of just like get some ideas flowing for, as well as a blog post on like what to think about when you're international gifting, and of course these slides and this recording as well. I'm excited to see some of these international campaigns start to come to light. I know yesterday we did a gifting power hour. So if there are any customers on the line, and we're also at the gifting power hour yesterday, hey, nice to see you again. But we also did a gift invitation teardown and like analysis of a gift invitation that was sent in an international gifting campaign. So I'm super excited to see these start to pop up, start to get a little bit more popular, and start seeing more of our customers create those really personal experiences for prospects all around the world. Super fun. Oh, another Q&A. Can you share a link to register for the power hours? Heck yeah. I think that our events team also just stood up the power hour page for August. So we can send that in the follow-up email. Let me just write that down. Power hour. Sweet. Yeah, the gifting power hours are really fun. If you have sales reps that you think could use a little bit more coaching, we do breakout sessions, and we have our just like community of sales reps talk to each other about how they're gifting with Alice, what they're seeing, what they're learning, what's working, what isn't working. And it's a really fun way to kind of, one, suggest a song. So we curate a playlist and we play that for the power hour, but two, just get to know the other people who are gifting with Alice and have more resources outside of just your company and your CSM, who's awesome. But you get those little tidbits from people who are like in the trenches doing it every day. So awesome. Thank you everyone for joining. If there are no more questions, happy to give you all 12 minutes and 13 seconds back in your day. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any, if you want to ever do like a brainstorming session on international campaigns that you can run, or you just want to run by another marketer your international gifting campaigns, my email will be the one that's sending you the follow-up email. So feel free to save it. Hit me up whenever. I love chatting with our customers and brainstorming, because you all have way better ideas than I do. So super fun. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, friends.